I try to indulge my muse whenever I am able to get away from it all. I believe that democracy is the best guarantor for peace and cooperation among nations. For me, power was never an attraction. My message to the people and rulers of Pakistan is, as neighbors, we want peace and friendship and cooperation with you, so that together we can change the face of South Asia. People want government to deliver here and now. My poet's heart gives me strength to face political problems, particularly those which have a bearing on my conscience. The Prime Minister's office is not something that one enjoys. India has a legitimate right to becoming a permanent member of the UN Security Council. The BJP is not a party dependent on a single individual, nor is it tied to the apron strings of a family. We have given up office, but not our responsibility to serve the nation. We have lost an election, but not our determination. Let me make one thing clear. I have never considered mere survival in power as any achievement, just as I have never seen coming to power as an achievement in itself. India has never played politics with national security. If Pakistan had not accepted the demand to stop cross-border infiltration and the United States had not conveyed to us Pakistan's guarantee to do so, then nothing could have stopped a war. This power of democracy is a matter of pride for our country, something which we must always cherish, preserve and further strengthen. The BJP decides its own policies. Whatever understanding is reached with Pakistan has to be followed honestly, and everybody will have to rise above party politics and be actively committed to make India prosperous. If Pakistan claims to be a crucial partner in the international coalition against terrorism, how can it continue to use terrorism as an instrument of state policy against India? Our aim should be to make India a global R&D hub. If the elections are a mere fraud, why are terrorists being trained and infiltrated into India at the command of the Inter-Services Intelligence Agency of Pakistan to kill election candidates and to intimidate voters? We are unnecessarily wasting our precious resources in wars. If we must wage war, we have to do it on unemployment, disease, poverty, and backwardness. Labor reforms are not anti-worker. If Advaniji did not want, I would never have been Prime Minister. For the Bharatiya Janata Party, Gandhian socialism is what we want to achieve and make society free of exploitation and full of opportunities. India helped Bangladesh to achieve independence. The Bangladeshis should remain happy inside the territory of their own country. No one can be considered untouchable on political grounds. We used to fight with Pakistan with bombs. Now we are fighting with them on the playing ground. It is a matter of concern that science departments in India's vast university system have suffered greatly due to lack of investments, both material and in terms of faculty. We want peace to be permanent. Creative universities are bedrock of every developed nation's S&T strategy. In Indonesia, Malaysia, wherever Muslims are living, they don't want to live in harmony. Free and fair elections have again demonstrated that Jammu and Kashmir is part of India, and that people want to remain with it. We need to convert the extraordinary goodwill between India and Russia into a thriving, visible, vigorous, and mutually beneficial economic relationship. Our frequent initiatives to normalize relations with Pakistan are not a sign of our weakness. Rather, they are an indication of our commitment to peace. Himachal is my second home. I am contesting elections since 1952, but never did I throw mud. The BJP regards Muslims as Indians and human beings. My government is committed to carrying out electoral reforms. It is our firm resolve to keep criminal elements away from power. Global interdependence today means that economic disasters in developing countries could create a backlash on developed countries. The Biodiversity Convention has not yielded any tangible benefits to the world's poor. No state should be allowed to profess partnership with the global coalition against terror, while continuing to aid, abet and sponsor terrorism. In the euphoria after the Cold War, there was a misplaced notion that the UN could solve every problem anywhere. The UN's unique legitimacy flows from a universal perception that it pursues a larger purpose than the interests of one country or a small group of countries. The reality is that international institutions like the UN can only be as effective as its members allow it to be. There was an implicit conviction that the UN would be stronger than the sum of its constituent member states. We believe that the United States and the rest of the international community can play a useful role by exerting influence on Pakistan to put a permanent and visible end to cross-border terrorism against India. India has the sanction of her own past glory and future vision to become strong, in every sense of the term. People who ask us when we will hold talks with Pakistan are perhaps not aware that over the last 55 years, every initiative for a dialogue with Pakistan has invariably come from India. I believe the gun is no solution to problems. Who can forget that in critical times of war in 1962, 1965 and 1971, Naga underground organizations did not fire on the Indian army. They showed restraint. It is true that of all the states in India, Nagaland has a unique history. We are sensitive to this historical fact. But this uniqueness has in no way diminished the spirit of patriotism among the Naga people. For development, peace is essential. Violence does not contribute to anything. Neither India nor Russia perceives a threat from the strength of the other. Each sees a benefit for itself in the increased political and economic strength of the other. Our words, actions, and diplomatic efforts should be aimed at trying to achieve pragmatic goals, rather than creating rhetorical effect. Terrorism has become a festering wound. It is an enemy of humanity. I dream of an India that is prosperous, strong and caring. An India that regains a place of honor in the comedy of great nations. Quiet diplomacy is far more effective than public posturing. I have never been a traitor. I am not an informer. I never betrayed my nation. Our aim may be as high as the endless sky, but we should have a resolve in our minds to walk ahead, hand in hand, for victory will be ours.